What is going on, you guys? AK40 Kevin here in the gamer heaven, and about 8 months, something like that ago, I lose track of time, I made a video about why PC gaming is better than console gaming, and now I want to go back to my console roots and go over the pros of console gaming vice PC gaming. I'm not going to talk about laptop gaming because that's completely irrelevant. So, console gaming, it's a much more casual experience.
What do you mean?
What do I mean by that? You can chill on your couch or on your bed, and you're looking at a TV. You're not right up on a monitor with headphones making your ears all drippy and sweaty. You got your surround sound, your sound bar. It's just a much more casual, relaxing experience.
You can plug your PC to a TV and play games sitting on a couch, with surround sound and shit.
Now, is there competitive console players and console tournaments? Yes, but the majority of console players are just out there for the casual encounters, if you know what I mean. So, that is a definite perk.
How?
Also, the co-op is a hell of a lot better. I'm not talking about online multiplayer here, boys. I'm talking about co-op. So either split screen or even games where you and your homeboys are on the same screen, like A Way Out or Army of Two. Things that, like party games where you can have 4 controllers, just 4 people knuckles deep, flicking the sticks on each other, having a great time, crashing some White Claws, and, you know, disobeying the game laws. So that is really cool. There's no real co-op on PC. Like, you're not going to invite your buddies over to go sit at your desktop and all have their own keyboards and mice and headsets and monitors. It's not practical. Nobody really does it. I mean, I guess you could, but why would you subject your friends to that? Nobody wants that.
I can't believe you're a PC gamer. I mean, you're either ridiculously stupid or you just couldn't think of anything and rambled some shit. If you really are a PC gamer, and if you have really built your own PC, then you must be knowing that we can play couch co-op games on a PC with controllers. You don't need separate monitors and keyboards for everyone.
Their life. Also, the price for performance is really good on console.
Oh really? Let's see. The highest a PS4 Pro could cost is around $600. According to Games Radar, the PS4 Pro doesn't run the games at native 4K as it is expected to. The article says, most titles output a 4K signal, but rarely a full 4K resolution. Instead 1440p and 2160p resolutions are more common, which depends on how intensive the games are visually. That's why a lot of games, God of War for example, offer a choice between a high frame rate, usually a locked 60 FPS, or a high resolution, often aiming for 30 FPS. It all depends on where you want to spend the power the PS4 Pro has available. As you read further, you can see that they have given the list of PS4 Pro optimized games, and you can see that most of those games use dynamic resolution. And according to Forbes, dynamic resolution scaling changes resolution on the fly in response to demands placed on a console's processors by what is happening on the screen. For 4K games, DRS reduces resolution from native 4K in order to preserve factors such as frame rate and graphics quality. Keeping these in mind, I've created a PC counterpart build with Asus Prime MTX motherboard, i3-9100F quad-core, a GTX 1650 Super 4GB DDR6, two 4GB DDR4 RAM sticks, Western Digital 1TB hard drive, a Corsair 450W PSU, a gaming keyboard and mouse, and a MTX Micro Tower PC case, all for under $550. This PC not only performs better at 1440p, but also can be used to play in native 4K without dynamic resolution, if you lower the graphics settings. I mean, you, yourself said that games are expensive on a console.
$500 for a top tier console, but games over time are going to pay for that difference there, because on PC, Steam is always running sales where you can get games for like dirt cheap, and I do mean like 75-80% off, crazy sales. Not to mention there's third-party companies like Humble Bundle that basically allow you to buy super cheap games. So back in the day, like the PS2 era and Xbox 360, there was a huge difference between gaming PCs and consoles. But honestly, with the current generation, the gap is getting closed, and the next generation is going to bring that even closer. Like for $550, $600, the Series X and the PS5 are going to run like a like a $1,100 mid to high end gaming PC.
No, they won't.
And people don't know how to build PCs, even though it's super easy, and they don't want to swap out components and install an operating system and all that shit. They just want to plug it in and play that shit.
You can look up in YouTube and learn how to build a computer. It's not that difficult. And you have to install your operating system only once and that's it. You can download a client and start playing games.
So the price to performance is pretty damn good, and a lot of that is due to the new infrastructure, architecture, whatever you call it, that these new manufacturers are using. Basically, it lets, not to get too technical in this video, but
As if you could.
it lets these new consoles run a lot more video memory. Like, we're talking like 40 gigs.
40 gigs?
Which is insane, because I have like a $400 graphics card, and it only has 8 gigs of GDDR6 RAM.
Well, both of the next generation consoles have 16 gigs of memory. Consoles use APUs. They don't have a CPU and a separate GPU like a PC. The 16 gigs of memory is all it's got, whereas your graphics card itself has 8 gigs of VRAM. That means your CPU will have a separate memory allocation called RAM. If you have 16 gigs of RAM for your CPU and 8 gigs of VRAM for your GPU, you have a total of 24 gigs of memory for your computer.
Video RAM, so impressive. Also, the console is like the center of your living room entertainment center. It's a Blu-ray player, internet browser, YouTube playing, Netflix and chillin' machine. So you don't need to buy another DVD player or anything. You don't need to have any other devices technically in your living room besides obviously a TV and a good sound system to run it. But yeah, you just plug that in there and you can do so much with it. Like that one device can pretty much run the entertainment center for, you know, you can play Pandora on there and have music fill in your living room. You can watch YouTube videos, like and subscribe. I'm a YouTuber, watch me. You can Netflix and chill yourself, which is always fun.
A PC can do all of those things better than a console. In fact, a PC is the entertainment center where you can play games, watch YouTube, listen to music, browse the web, edit videos, compose music, etc. Saying that a console can do a lot of things when comparing it with a PC is as dumb as it could get.
The next point is you can trade them in for a little bit of cash towards the next console when you go to upgrade. So you can go like PS4 to PS4 Pro to PS5, or you know, Xbox One to One S to One X to Series X. I fucking hate how Microsoft names their consoles. It's super confusing. But that's really cool because you don't see anybody wheeling in a, you know, 100-pound full tower PC on like a little dolly cart, bringing it into GameStop to trade it in. Your best bet at that point would be to like strip it out for parts and sell the components one by one, or to keep the components that you can salvage and use on your next build. But honestly, it's not the same. Granted, GameStop's gonna bin you over and take you to Pound Town, probably give you like, I don't know, $80 for a console you spent $400 on, but at least it's something. Especially if you get store credit, because you're gonna buy the console there, you get a little bit more. Muy poquito, you get just a little bit more. So that's cool.
You can sell your parts individually on websites like eBay, and you can also buy used components for a cheaper price if you want. If you want to upgrade only one component of your PC, like RAM or CPU or GPU, it could cost you less than buying an entirely new console. Plus, if you trade in your existing console for a new one, all the games you bought for that console would be of no use.
Lower power consumption, which nobody really gives a shit about. It's not that noticeable.
Well, you can't just mention a point and immediately say, oh, it's not that big of a deal. That just makes your point meaningless.
Probably save like $5 a year if you're leaving your console on 24/7, which is bad. I probably wouldn't recommend that. But there are micro PCs, micro case PCs that run pretty low power consumption, but generally consoles do consume a lot less energy. So,
well, first of all, PCs consume more power than a console because it gives you more features than a console. It gives you better performance, better visuals, better functionality, versatility, and so on. It's like comparing a sedan to a Koenigsegg. Of course, the sedan will consume less fuel because it isn't capable to perform as well as a Koenigsegg. Secondly, you yourself said that there are micro PCs that consume less power. If someone doesn't want the PC to consume that much power, he or she can build a micro PC. So what's your point?
Also, it's a different experience playing on a big ass screen, which is really cool. You see those big old wide scenes, there's a ton of explosions and vistas off in the distance and stuff. It gives you a different sense of scope than playing like right up on a monitor, which is better for competitive play, obviously, because you can see the whole screen right in front of you. But sometimes it's nice to have that big old screen in front of you.
I already mentioned this, but you can connect your PC to a TV. I mean, it's a piece of hardware that needs a display device to show the display, as long as you have the respective display port like HDMI, DVI or any other port. You can connect your PC to any display device. Similarly, you can connect your console to a monitor as well. The hardware is not restricted to a TV or a monitor.
And speaking of screens, TVs, it's a lot more common for 4K HDR. Even cheap shitty brands like TCL, Insignia, Avira, Element, like all these little like $400 TVs and shit, you can get like a 55-inch 4K HDR TV. As or if you're trying to get 4K and HDR in a gaming monitor, you're going to spend some serious ducats. You're getting close to four figures, no doubt. So, yeah, it's a lot more common to have those features in a TV. So, again, keeps the cost of gaming down, which is cool because a lot of us are pretty fucking broke, especially if you can't work because of the COVID.
Oh God. At this point I'm starting to think that this is a troll video. Firstly, 4K TVs are not cheap. Are they cheap when compared to a 4K gaming monitor? Yeah, probably, but it's because the monitor has higher refresh rate and features like FreeSync or G-Sync. And more pixels on a smaller screen gives you better quality than the same number of pixels on a larger screen, because the pixels are smaller and therefore produce a sharper image. Secondly, this doesn't matter because you can connect your PC to a TV as well.
Also, with the 4K, you have to have a hell of a rig, a good old PC, in order to run 4K at a reliable frames per second, as where like the Xbox One X and PS4 Pro can hit 4K at 30, and the next gen consoles will do 4K at like 60. So there's that.
Well, the Xbox One X costs from $537 to $550. If you want to play online, you will have to pay $10 per month, which would cost you $120 a year. Even if you pay $60 per year, it is expensive because, as soon as you stop paying for Xbox Live, you cannot play online. If you don't pay, you can't play. For a PC, online is free. There are no subscriptions. PC can look expensive when compared to a console, but over time you will be spending more on a console.
Also, there's a unique line of accessories for each manufacturer. Like PlayStation has the PSVR, which is freaking cool, by the way. PSVR 2 is coming out on PS5. That'll be cool. Xbox has like hundreds of limited edition controllers, which look really bomb. And there's the Kinect if you want to subject yourself to that bullshit. So really cool to have all these nice little accessories and stuff. PC also has like VR and stuff, but it costs a lot and it takes a lot of energy to get set up. So there's that.
Well, PC has a very wide range of accessories compared to consoles, controllers, headsets, gaming keyboards and mice, and so on. It's funny how you say that it costs a lot, and it takes a lot of effort to set it up as if it doesn't with a console accessory. You can get a VR headset for a cheaper price if you want. You don't have to spend $1,000 and buy the best VR headset. But it still is an option. PC has various VR headsets. It is not restricted to a single type of headset like PSVR or something.
Also, there's really cool social hubs, and I'm not just talking about the PSN and Xbox Live, which is really cool, being able to chat with your buddies during this stupid-ass pandemic, being able to like still play games with your friends, still communicate with your buddies that are out of state and stuff like that. But I'm talking about the actual social hubs. Like PlayStation has this program where it's like a virtual network you go into, and there's like pool tables, or you can watch like one of you guys can pay and rent a movie, and you're in this virtual theater, and you guys can all watch it together. You can put your little PSVR headsets on and get all sweaty together watching a movie, which is really cool. Xbox also has a little social center like that where you guys can fuck off in the digital space, which is pretty cool because a lot of us are introverts anyway, and we don't like to go outside where it's not safe. So
How are you a PC gamer? Don't you know that VR Chat exists? A free-to-play online VR game?
I'm sure there's more,
No.
but that's all I could think of for now.
It's clear that you didn't think at all, because all the points you mentioned are meaningless as to why a console is better than a PC. And the fact that you call yourself a PC gamer is an insult to the PC gaming community. I'm not saying that one must know everything about PC in order to be a PC gamer, but you don't even know the basic features of a PC?
Like benefits of console gaming over PC. Yeah. Oh yeah, that footage in the background was me playing Fortnite on the PS4. As you see, I've gotten like 30 kills already. Shroud and Tfue were in there. I think Ninja was in there. I made quick work of those boys.
Oh, just stop.
Actually, this video here I'm going to be chopping and editing and making a dope little collage out of. So, alright guys, see you in the next one. Peace.
Well, thank God that was over. My brain is starting to melt from the stupidity of this guy. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If so, please like and subscribe to my channel for more videos. I'll meet you guys later with a new video. Thanks for watching.